In this video, I'm going to show you 7 simple ways to reduce shoulder pain when swimming. For the exercises I'm about to show you, stop if you feel any pain or an unstable feeling in your shoulder. By increasing the flexibility through your spine, you'll find it easier to rotate your body in the water. And this will help to take some of the stress off your shoulders during the freestyle stroke. Breathe out as you move into this stretch and hold for 30 seconds on each side. Don't hold your breath, just hold the stretch. Now the same is also true for spinal extension. That helps to keep the body in a more streamlined position to help you pass through the water with less drag. Now with our model, they seem a bit tight around the shoulders and spine here into extension. So we're going to go ahead with the next exercise and see if we can get some improvement. The best exercise for this is the modified child's pose. From a kneeling position, open your knees and then stretch forward, breathing out slowly as you go into the stretch position, and hold the stretch for 30 seconds. You can turn this stretch into an important strengthening exercise for swimmers by pushing down against the floor in this stretch position and holding for 6 seconds. You can also perform this stretch with a foam roller. Once again, in the stretch position, you can push down into the roller for 6 seconds. And the reason you're doing this is strengthening in this extended position gives you a strong start to your swimming stroke as the hand enters the water. Here are 4 more exercises that you can do for your shoulder joint using a resistance band, a cable machine, or a lightweight. Resisted shoulder extension should be performed into end of range without letting your back arch. Start by performing 6 slow repetitions under control. With this exercise, bring the arm slightly out to your side so it's not coming up by the side of your head or in line with your spine. It's just slightly out to the side so it's in line with your shoulder blade. This will make the exercise easier and more comfortable. Resisted shoulder rotation should be performed into full range external rotation. Performing the movement under control, start with 6 repetitions. Next, perform resisted shoulder internal rotation as shown here. Now this movement uses different muscles, so you may want to reduce the weight so that you can perform this exercise safely and under control. Perform 6 repetitions. The next exercise is the elevated shrug. Now this is a standard shrug, and this would be a shrug on one side. So for the elevated shrug, once again, we take the weight, straighten the arm up above the head, slightly out to the side so it's in line with the shoulder blade again, and then elevate the shoulder blade from that position. So it's an elevated shrug because the arm is elevated whilst you still try and shrug your shoulder up towards your ear. And you can see here that the shoulder blade is lifting and the muscles around the shoulder blade, those scapulothoracic muscles, very important for swimming, are having a good workout in this position. Now, in addition to those exercises, here are some manual therapy techniques that I would use to help reduce shoulder pain in swimmers. To help with the extension of the thoracic spine, I get the client to interlock the fingers behind their head, bring the elbows closer together, and then provide a counter pressure over the mid-spine, over the thoracic spine, just below the shoulder blades. Get them to lean forward slightly, and then as they breathe out, I stretch them back into spinal extension. And this is a lovely stretch for the thoracic spine. This next one is a simple rotation mobilization for the spine. So you get your client to cross their arms over, and then you help them to rotate by providing some extra leverage, so lifting your elbows up high to get the correct pressure through the shoulders. So I'm pushing the back of the shoulder here and the front of the shoulder on the opposite side to rotate them around to their right. You'll notice, of course, they're sat down over the corner of the couch, and that helps them to lock their lower body so that we don't get too much twist being transferred through the hips as we do this movement. They can breathe out as you move into that end of range, and you can gently provide some overpressure to help improve the rotation through the spine. This one combines really nicely with the stretch that we looked at right at the beginning of the video. To help improve shoulder rotation, try this technique where you shear through by rotating the skin on the upper arm as you then rotate the shoulder backwards into external rotation. Just repeat that again. So rotate the skin in the upper arm forwards as you rotate the arm back in the opposite direction. If you want to work on improving internal rotation of the shoulder, then do this opposite. Rotate the skin in the upper arm backwards as you rotate the arm forwards. This technique can be enhanced by taking some floss band, and the reason we're using that is that it sticks to the skin, so it gives us a better grip. And then when we do the rotation, we've got more grip over the skin and we can increase the intensity of the technique. So I'm rotating back as I move the arm forwards. Okay, so rotate back as I move the arm forwards towards you. That's for internal rotation of the shoulder. If I want to go the opposite way, then I rotate the skin in the upper arm forwards towards you on the camera as I move the arm back into external rotation. Just repeat that a few times. It's common for swimmers to experience tension in the front of their shoulder in the pectoralis muscles. So to help reduce muscle tone, I'm going to use a soft open fist and gently knead into the soft tissue there. And you'll also notice I'm holding the arm so that they can relax their arm. And I can also do some light stretching by slowly lowering that arm down towards the floor, which will put a gentle stretch through those pectoral muscles. What I'm doing here is just rotating my forearm in order to get into the pectoralis muscle. If you're doing this on a female client, you can't go down the chest as far, but you may still be able to get into the front of the shoulder there, into the upper pecs. I often use a cupping technique here as well, so that the cup here, I've got a silicone cup, this is a rock pod. I can use that to mobilize the soft tissue, and I like to think of it as a soft tissue handle, so I can stretch through as I lower the arm down to stretch through the pecs, and then I can use the pod there to mobilize the soft tissue around that area as well. If your patient is struggling with spinal rotation in one direction, then try this taping technique. If they're tight turning to the left, for example, then you start just on top of the left hip, just near that left buttock, cross over the body and head up towards the right-hand side of their posterior shoulder. So I'm going to cut the tape and show you how to apply this application. To begin the application, instruct them to turn their knees over towards the side that they were tight. So this was left, so the knees have gone over to the left, and therefore the arms have gone over to the right. We'll then tear the tape. Here I'm using 10 centimeter wide kinesiology tape from Rock Tape, and we're going to apply that over the back, just on the back of the glutes there. So it doesn't need to go right over the glutes, just over the top. Once you get to the middle, switch them round so that the knees come over to the right and the arms go over to the left, and then continue to apply the tape with that paper off tension application. So there's no extra stretch in the tape. Once it's there, make sure you rub it to secure it in place. Following the taping, you should see some improvements with rotation, which you could test doing that stretch that we did at the beginning of the video. If you'd like some more details and instruction on how to apply this tape, then I'll leave a link below the video. I also like to use active cupping techniques to stretch through the lats, which often get tight after a training session. So this is a good stretch to do. I'll take the opposite arm and then stretch like so, instructing them to breathe out as we move into that stretch. Hold the stretch for a few seconds and then help them return back to neutral. As a general rule, don't leave the cups on for longer than 2 minutes. Now it's important to note, you will need to reduce the duration and intensity of your training for a number of weeks to allow your shoulder to recover. It's also a good idea to have a professional coach have a look at your swimming technique. The two most common causes of shoulder pain in swimmers is doing too much training that they're not accustomed to and their swimming technique. So training load and technique, make sure you've considered those two factors to help you recover from shoulder pain. And if you're interested to learn more about technique, I've put a few things in the video description. So have a look at those and see if there's anything there that you could potentially work on to help improve your swimming technique. So before we finish, here's another exercise and top tip for you. Lie on your back and go into this rotated position to get a good stretch through your torso. Now this is a great exercise because when you do your swimming training, it's common for the muscles around your shoulder to tighten up. So by performing this exercise, it will help to restore mobility in your shoulder joint, both joints of course if you do it for both sides, in between training sessions. It has the added advantage of stretching through the torso so we can keep that spine nice and mobile as well. Here's a few tips for you. So from this position, See if you can roll your hips, shuffle your hips around so that you're a bit more rotated, so that this leg is aiming down towards the floor a bit more. This will put a bit more stretch through your spine. And then this arm here needs to stretch back towards the floor. So relax your breathing, give it a few seconds, and you should find that your mobility starts to improve. And you're going to hold this stretch for 30 seconds while trying to relax your breathing. Also, try to move the arm into this external rotation position. So you're stretching here, but try and rotate through the upper arm by moving that hand back down towards the floor. And by doing this stretch and working on that rotation of the shoulder, this should help to restore your mobility in between your training sessions. Just a quick note, when you're doing this stretch, if your shoulder feels unstable in this position, especially when you're trying to rotate it back towards the floor, then make sure you stop this exercise and get a professional assessment. Your shoulder pain could be caused by some form of shoulder instability. And if you'd like to know more about shoulder instability, then check out the video showing on the screen here. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please boop the like button and consider sharing it with any of your swimming friends with shoulder pain.